Everyone, today, my very special guest is Dana Bledsoe. She is so kind to come on here and share with us today. We're going to talk about a couple things because she's a mom, she is a wife, she's an advocate, and she is also a stage 4 metastatic breast cancer thriver. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today because life can throw us all kinds of uncertainties. And one of the uncertainties that she has to deal with on a regular basis is the fact that she is actually living. And if you see her, right, she looks healthy. She is healthy. She's
really healthy.
She's a ball of energy. She really is. But her diagnosis. Welcome to the Mary D Show. I'm your host, Mary D, here to be your guide as we extract wisdom and life lessons from top CEOs, thought leaders, artists, spiritual luminaries, and wellness experts. My intention is to bring you value in every show that sparks an idea, helps you break a limiting belief, or encourages you to create thoughts that up-level your life so that you can know from the deepest parts of your soul that everything you want is available to you and that abundance is your birthright. In 2018, I healed from breast cancer holistically after surgery without the use of chemotherapy or pharmaceuticals. I love biohacking and plant medicine and exploring spirituality and what it means to be in relationship with spirit so that we can feel whole and complete no matter what life throws at us. My specialty in the business world is strategy and leadership, and my gift to each of you is my ability to listen so that I can help others see themselves. In each episode, I want to sprinkle you with some hope dust, tickle your funny bone, and inspire you to find your inner roar. Get ready to live your most aligned, purposeful, and joy-filled life now, and enjoy the show. There are lots of people walking around who look just like her and act just like her who actually do have a diagnosis of stage 4. And there's a lot of different technologies and there are a lot of different things that are out there today that actually allow our stage 4 to thrive and not experience a shorter lifespan than what we see on TV. Yeah, we don't see that they're living for a week and they're done. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. That was actually a surprise to me too. So that was, I love that fun fact because I feel like, you get extra precious points for the mindset that has to go into this. This is what someone told me that I found to be very true. Like it resonated with me when they said this to me. But what I said is after I had surgery, I was actually very excited to show other people my boobs. I was like, hey, do you want to see my implants? Do you want to see what the surgery was like? Do you want to see my scars? And I wasn't weird about it. Like they were definitely not pretty in the beginning. They were red and I called them Franken boobs. Yeah, Franken boobs. They were 100%. And with that, I remember also embracing them, though, at the same time, because I was also grateful to wake up with breasts because it was a really long surgery. They did one big surgery for me, which, by the way, it was only after the fact I realized that other types of surgeries exist. But of course, you never know what it's like when you're a breast cancer patient for the first time, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was a double mastectomy with a reconstruction all at the same time. So this is like an 8-hour day. So they wheel me in the morning. And by the time they wake me up, I just remember the first thing I did was look down. It's in this like saran wrap and it's super tight and it feels like your boobs are in your neck. And I was so grateful because the surgery was a success. My body didn't reject the implants and it didn't look weird at that moment. Right? Because in that moment, all I'm seeing are the bandages and stuff. I'm not actually seeing the foobs yet. I'm not seeing the Franken foobs. So in that moment, I was just grateful. I was grateful that I was like, oh, my body is like, okay with this and carry on. I guess we'll see. And I'm still here. Means the cancer's gone. So that's
it, baby.
That's a win. Yeah. I remember that being like the first little mini milestone, but I was so proud to show people. And my friend said to me, he said, hey, he goes, this is actually a coping mechanism. And I said, really? He goes, yeah. When we make a decision to accept, he goes, especially when you've had someone that's like lost weight, gained weight, had a surgery, had a new part, when you are going through the coping of acceptance, this is that time. And you'll want to share it a lot of times with other people. And that's typically a really good sign that that's part of coping. That's helping you cope, is by saying, hey, I accept these and I'm great with them. Are you? Yeah, it's interesting, right? How validation can work and getting what you need at the time.
You just showing them is a liberation for others. There's one thing that I'm really, really passionate about doing. I want to get all the major fashion houses, women with breast cancer, walk the runways. And that at the end of the runway, we get to open our top.
Oh, I love that.
Because you know what? I just like, why should we hide our scars? In many ways, it's funny, you know, I have both my breasts. I had three lumpectomies. The doctor was like, well, you're so small. I was like, well, now, wait a minute, dude. Let's not start insulting me. I know I've got small boobs, but I'm not flash, you know what I mean? Like, and he said, if by the third, because he couldn't get all the cancer, but I also think he spread it, but he kind of moved everything around. So I have a very small scar, which is just above the areola. By the third surgery, I was picking out my boobs and I was like, oh, I want these boobs. And, you know, so in a way I feel a bit guilty because I don't know what you all have gone through. I know that those surgeries are horrifically painful, the acceptance then that you have to go through. But I remember as well waking up at the end of the surgery where they woke me up, you know, and I looked down and there's just blood everywhere and they're wrapping my breasts.
Oh.
And I remember he talks to you while you're under, and it's like a truth serum. So I'm like, what did I say?
What did I say? Yeah.
He apparently like gets the truth. But I just remember going into the pre-surgery where they had all the wires in the breasts. Do you remember that? Where so you have all these needles so that they know exactly where to go in. And I had all these tubes with these wires. And then I had to go get a mammogram. And I looked down and I went, I'm going to vomit. I'm going to get sick. She goes, yes.
Oh.
That's like the point when you know it's real. This is all happening. But back to you and your acceptance. I think that we should, all of us who have our scars, that's like a hero's journey. Because we all have scars, whether they're inside or outside. And I think women who have had new breasts, I think you need to show them more because that's an acceptance of beauty. And I don't understand why it's not being promoted more. There's a great woman, I don't know if you know the model, she was a Sports Illustrated model. Her name is Kelly Crump. And she just did a Sports Illustrated. She was a Sports Illustrated model, and she had a double mastectomy as well. And they put her in a half bathing suit, and they used that photograph. And she said she didn't know they were going to use it, where it showed her mastectomy scar.
Oh, yeah, her scar.
And it's like, I just still trying to get in touch with her. I was like, thank you. Thank you for the liberation that so many women will recognize that and accept themselves now. But she also got a lot of backlash. Like, that isn't beauty. But who is to say that that's not beauty? It's beautiful. Our scars are beautiful.
Yes, there's always some troll out there that's always got to be the naysayer. So
yeah, exactly.
I just chalked it up to like someone's just bored and trolly and they hate the world and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I will say that I went on one of my very first breast cancer retreats with the breasties. This was, gosh, I think it's been 5 years now. It was literally right after, it was very, very soon after I'd had my surgery. And during that event, we were all in this like really big hot tub or maybe it was a pool. I just remember it was water and a bunch of us were in there, probably more than the capacity of what should have been. But we were having such a great time because part of what was happening is we were opening up the conversation with each other around there were women there who hadn't had surgery yet, and there are women who had. And so within that, you had the women who hadn't had surgery kind of asking, and they were curious. And so here, the ones of us that had had surgery were like, yeah, you want to see? Do you want to touch? What questions do you have? So very quickly, I took my top off and I was like, absolutely. I was like, whoever wants to touch, see, feel, ask questions, come on down. Yep. Because my nurse that I had did that for me. She had my same plastic surgeon 4 years before when she had breast cancer. Yeah. So now she's 4 years later with the tattooed areola, and the plastic surgeon that I use actually fabricates a nipple.
Wow.
If you do that reconstruction, which I haven't.
Yeah.
But that was what I thought I was going to do, because the day before my surgery, when I'm in there getting the rest of my little scans and all they throw the dye in you and all that good stuff. And she asked me, she says, do you want to see my reconstructed breast? And I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls off her shirt, pulls off her bra, totally lets me see. She goes, do you want to touch them? I was like, yes, I do. Because I want to get an idea of because it's real when it's in front of you. It's weird when it's a picture, but when it's in front of you. And I just remember looking at them and I was so grateful for her, because I was like, thank you, because that visual is giving me hope for what this can look like. Look, her boobs look amazing. Yeah. They looked so pretty. So the fact that you go through something like this, that's very jarring, amputating your breasts or digging into them, right? You're still, even with a lumpectomy, they are still amputating some of your breasts out of your body. It's very traumatic.
It is an amputation.
Thank you for joining us on today's show. I hope that today's session inspires you to live an aligned life where you get to take complete ownership of your feelings and decisions to live in your truth. You can connect with me more at www.maryd.com. You can also catch us on YouTube at The Mary D Show. Head on over to Instagram and Facebook and type in @TheMaryD and just look for the little blue check to ensure you're on my official page.